1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
All right. Just about 5 minutes after 10 o'clock, Matt Gibbs is here. The show is called Auto Repair with Personal Care, and he will take care of your car. And it's always personal. Your car is so important to you, I know, because it is to me. And I got to start to tell you, Matt. Matt is the owner of Sunrise Automotive and Crossroad Auto Sales. So, good morning, Matt.
Morning, Larry. Morning.
So, I went to Burger King, and I noticed a car that looked just like mine in the parking lot. And I went in and was getting a burger, and the guy who owns that car came up to me and said, "How do you like your Rendezvous?" And I said, "I love it. He said, "Yeah, me too. How many miles on yours?" So I said, like 80,000, whatever it is now, right? And he said, "Oh, I got 5,000 on mine. 2005 car with only 5,000 miles. That's hardly driven, huh?"
Yeah.
That's like a brand new car.
It's like a brand new car. Yeah, he ain't got time to hate that one yet.
I wonder how that happens.
I don't know.
Maybe they just bought it and never used it, or the person before him did, right?
Yeah.
Because he said he just got it.
Oh, he did? He just got it?
He just got it, yeah. I told him I got mine at Sunrise Automotive. Crossroad Auto Sales.
Yeah.
I probably said Sunrise Automotive, but I always mix up. It's on the back, it says what it is. I should just look at my back window.
Yeah, there you go. And there's a little sticker on the back, too.
Yeah.
Just in case you forget.
Hey, did you hear the story?
Nope.
I know you don't like autonomous cars. I know you don't like them, but...
No, it's not that I don't like them. It's just like...
Did we talk about the lady who got hit by
killed?
one?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's an update on that story. Did you hear the update?
Well, I saw the video.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't want to watch it. I know it was made available. Why did you watch it?
Because it was made available.
Oh, really? Does it actually show the lady getting hit?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. See, I couldn't handle that. Then I'd have a nightmare. But anyway, so the family of that lady is suing Volvo and Uber $100 million. So now, since there's a lawsuit, here's the argument. Volvo is the only one arguing, really. Volvo says we shouldn't be part of this because our technology would not have hit that woman. Uber took our technology, turned it off, and installed their own autonomous technology, and that's the problem. Volvo is saying, we've got to figure it out. You're not going to hit a squirrel with our self-driving cars. But Uber has, I guess, not the same... what do you call it? Everything's an algorithm nowadays, right?
Right, yeah.
So... I don't know.
That's interesting, and I understand that in the law the lawsuit's gonna be everybody involved,
yes.
And then they'll come up with who's responsible, because at the end of the day somebody's responsible. Doesn't matter that the woman jumped out in front of a car in the pitch dark. Somebody's responsible.
Oh, does it look?
Well, there's more to it, and I'd rather.
Does it look to you like she did it, not on purpose, but I mean that she was at fault?
Well, I wouldn't say fault. It's an accident. I'm sure she didn't plan on getting killed.
Right.
But here's the thing. I don't know, from what I saw, I don't know if there was a human driving, if that would have been a different result or not.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I'm just going to keep those thoughts to myself.
Oh, okay.
I just honestly don't think, I don't know, and I can't sit here and say 100% if there was a person actually operating that vehicle,
right.
if the same thing would have happened. It may very well have happened, from my perspective anyway.
So when we as humans have a run-in with somebody and have to go to the hospital, the first thing the doctors look to see is there anything internally that's damaged. Same thing with you? Like when you see a car that's been in an accident, is the first thing you look at the transmission and the engine? I mean, if it's just body work, then it's probably a lot better.
Well, I mean, it's really there's the degrees of, that's why the insurance companies send out an adjuster. There's a limit. Well, once this car is beyond the limit, then that's when they like when you hit the cow.
Yeah.
You know, that was beyond the limits of repair.
because it was an older car.
It was an older. Well, for whatever reason, the cost to repair was
Greater.
way more than what the car was worth. So it's time to let her lie down and.
It's a blessing in disguise, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
No hamburger out of it, though. Did you know that guy, by the way? Was he a person you knew already?
Who?
The guy who owned the cow. Remember, he came to your place to settle up with me.
Yeah, I do remember. No, I never seen him before.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe he was a customer or something.
No.
He seemed to know you. So there's a website for farmers that are looking for brides, you know. All right, the phone lines are open. If you want to call Matt, ask a question about your car. Maybe the little crank in the front isn't working anymore and you can't start your car. That's what we should do. We should put cranks back in the front.
That's what we should do. We could really hurt a lot of people.
Why? How would that hurt anybody?
Put a hand crank in front of a car?
Yeah. How hard is it to crank over an engine by hand?
Yeah, I don't think you can.
No?
I think that's why they don't put the little hand cranks in them no more.
But the only thing that turns that engine is a little starter. That's just a little tiny motor.
Okay. That little tiny motor is stronger than we are. When we built him a go-kart, you know, when he started racing karting and stuff, oh my gosh, you had to be careful. And that was just a little lawnmower engine. That little pull thing, you know, you pull it. If you did it wrong, buddy, when that compression, when you're on the wrong stroke, it'll hurt you.
It'll pull your arm?
It'll snap you right on up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you feel like there are fewer people who do their own repair work now?
I don't really know, to be honest with you. I don't know. I just know I have to deal with the folks that I deal with. So
right.
I don't know if there's. I think there's some out there.
That's kind of a dumb question, but do you?
Do I what?
Do your own car work?
Do I do my own car work?
Yeah, like when your car needs repairs.
Nah, I get one of my guys to do it. And I pay them to do it, too. So,
okay.
You know, I write it. I do the same thing we write a ticket on it. It gets brought into the shop, and sometimes I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But most of the time, I just process it through, just like everything else.
How many? Can I ask a personal question? I should know this because I know you've told me. But how many children do you have that are driving age?
They're all 6 children.
All 6 are of driving age?
Oh yeah, Joey's the baby.
Wow, you don't look old enough to have that. Oh, so anyway, do they all have the same ethics as far as car maintenance as you? Anybody a slacker?
No, they're all pretty good. I mean, Dad changes.
Oh, you change everybody's oil?
Yeah, pretty much,
really?
and you know, keep things going.
Yeah, I would be the slacker. In my family, I am the slacker. I'm sure that my brothers are way better at that than I am. I
mean, my Sheila definitely keeps up with the kids, and especially the younger ones. You know, it's like, how you doing? How you been? Everything going okay? You change oil? Have you changed your oil?
Does she really?
Yeah, she keeps up. She you know, she'll like make sure that their oil's changed and the car's serviced.
Oh man.
Yep. She makes sure I service her car and keep the oil changed. And
wow. All right, well, let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Good morning, Matt. This is Sonny Core.
Hey, Sonny.
Years ago, when I was actually a young teenager, my father had a boat, and the engine in the boat was a sailboat. So it was like an 18 horsepower universal, and it had the hand crank. It had one massive flywheel on it, and it was a 4-cylinder engine, and it's one of the earlier universals. That's why it was only 18 horse instead of 25. But anyway, you had to hand crank that engine, and my father went along with that simply because at that time, maintaining batteries and having to put the zinc plates on anything metal exposed in the water, such as your keel and everything, was a super hassle. So it was easier just to hand crank it over, and we used for lighting, like running lights and all that. They were actually kerosene lamps that you lit and you put them in the brackets, etc. But anyway, the point of the matter is you thought about a hand crank. Here's an 18 horsepower universal marine engine, long stroke, etc. And boy, every now and then that thing would like backfire, and when that thing backfired, it would kick the crank naturally in the flywheel the opposite direction the way you would crank it. And when that stopped, the handle would come off because it was supposed to be designed to come off, once you got it running. And that thing could really fly, and if it hit you, it hurt like hell. It was unbelievable. So I can see why we don't have hand cranks anymore. It's more detrimental to the person starting the car than anybody else around. But, times move on, and here we are today, hopefully with a computer that'll allow the car to be started. I'm just wondering what you thought there, and hang up and listen. Have a good day.
Thank you, Sonny. What?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to hand crank nothing.
Do you know what the thought comes to mind though? Is how much we have progressed in just one lifetime.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Just in my world, okay, in the world I live in, just from 1980 and a half to now. From 1980 and a half.
Yeah. A lot has changed.
In the automotive industry, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I've always I take that back. I had one new car in my life. But I think pretty much I've always had a car that was at least 10 years old. So in 1980, I was probably still driving in 1970. It's that kind of thing.
and I was too, but I was working on cars that were made in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the technology, it's astounding. It's really, literally, it's crazy.
And we have another phone call. Good morning. You're on there with Matt.
Hi, Matt. See, when you're shopping for cars to sell on your business, how much emphasis do you put on mileage? And like what I'm saying is, let's say you've got a car that's 2 years old, but it's got 150,000. Would you stay away from it?
I might, 150,000 miles is pretty much my absolute limit that I would buy. The car would have to be an exceptional car for me to buy it with 150,000 miles. Every once in a while I do, because the car is exceptional. But, there's a lot of factors I take into play. When I go out looking at cars, I have scanners and I check diagnostics and all the operating systems. I go through them really, really well. The thing I have to look at is most of the folks that buy cars from me buy them. I finance them myself for them, and the most I'll finance a car is for 3 years. So my philosophy is that when I'm looking at a car, I gotta look at this car as to say this car needs to go for at least 3 years. And so that's part of my thought process when I'm looking at any car at any time, is can this car do what it's supposed to do?
How does the mileage affect the value of the car? I mean, does it have a big effect on it?
It does have an effect on it. I have an app on my phone, and I put in the VIN number, and I put in all the information on the car. It gives me it gives me a lot of information about the car, and it also gives me the value of the car. So I can determine at that point what I'm willing to pay for the car. And a lot of times when I'm going out looking at a car, I don't look at what I can buy it for. I'm looking at what I can sell it for. Mm-hmm. I look at, this car is going to be, I can sell this car for X amount of dollars. Now, I don't want to pay for more than that value. I have to, do my due diligence, but that's how I look at it. Is the car a good car? Is everything checking out okay on it? What are the miles on it? What is the book on it? What's the book on the car? And what am I going to sell that car for? So,
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that goes into, for me anyway, for me buying a car. I don't have many cars, but the cars that I have are really, really good cars. So I'd rather.
Is there any way of telling if a odometer has been tampered with?
A lot of times if I go to the auction And I'll give you, for instance, it wasn't us. It was another dealer bought a car at an auction, and the car had let's say it had like 30,000 miles on the car. Well, I'm looking at this car and I'm like, I'm like, this car, there's no way this car has 30,000 miles. Somebody's messed with it somewhere. So what I did was I actually got the VIN number and I called the dealer, and the dealer did a service report on it and found out that particular car came into a dealership and had a airbag replaced at 75,000 miles.
Oh, wow.
Back in July. Well, right there, now there's a discrepancy.
Yeah.
And what happens is now we contact the auction. The auction has to take that car back. So the dealer's not like stuck with it and has to sell this car and stick somebody else with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's things that we can do to protect ourselves and to protect our customers.
To know. Yeah.
How would they up the odometer to put the correct miles on it? Then there's some way you can make it go forward.
Well, we don't know if we can change the mileage. You have to send it to the cluster repair shop for that particular factory vehicle. You know what I'm saying? If you're working on a Chevrolet, you take it to Palm Chevrolet, and they can get a cluster with the right mileage. Will we ever get exact mileage? I don't know, but we can get the last known mileage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then the buyer is
but then that car is branded as TMU, true mileage unknown, and it'll never have true mileage ever again.
Oh wow, okay, that's interesting to know. Thank you, Hugh. Appreciate the call. The phone line is open. I could see a couple other people trying to get through. Go ahead and try right now. The number is open, 622-9622. That is really good to know that you can actually kind of do a little bit of and it's amazing that you could tell just by looking at it that it wasn't probably right. That you kind of had a hunch, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Good morning. I'd like to ask a question about my car. It's a 2007 Chevrolet Cobalt, and it's a great car. And it has 226,800 miles on it. And this past month, when I went to get the oil levels looked at, it's been needing a quart of oil like every 12 days. And I just wonder, is the only place the oil was leaking would be from an oil plug?
Is that the only place it could be leaking?
I'm wondering about it.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. There's several places that could be leaking oil, and if you're putting one quart in every 12 days, and I'm thinking you're not putting a lot of miles on it in those 12 days. I'm thinking you got a pretty good leak, and you definitely need to have that looked at.
I don't know the person, but if you go to Matt, I can guarantee you, I know Matt. I can guarantee you they'll treat you fairly, whether it's to recommend fixing it or recommend just get another car. And I know you'll get a car you're happy with, because that's exactly my story right there. We had a girl on the show who wrote a book. It was for ladies on car maintenance, and she said in the book, $75 a month is what you should budget for car maintenance. Does that sound right?
That's about right.
Wow, I don't do that at all.
Nobody does.
So what would you, $75 a month for maintenance? Like, what would I do? Every month I come to, here's my $75. What do you do?
You don't have to. You might go 3 months and not do anything, and then all of a sudden you might.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It's just putting the $75, setting it aside.
Just for maintenance.
Right, because let's say every 4,000 miles or 4 months, you're gonna spend $40 just for an oil change, to have everything serviced, changing oil and stuff. But then when it's time for brakes, when it's time for a new belt, when it's time for an air filter, cabin air filter, when it's time to do maintenance on it, if you budget it, then it's not that big it doesn't hurt you as bad.
I hear you, yeah.
But it's just like anything else. If you're not a budgeter, you're not going to sit there and budget $75 a month for your car.
You're talking to the guy.
Right.
That is me.
And see, I'm not a budgeter either. So and most people aren't the one that budgets that kind of stuff. So sometimes when it happens, it's a big shock.
Well, then I'll take her advice. Jeez, that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow, isn't it? Put it away, $75 a month. Don't touch it, and then use that for car maintenance.
Yeah. Good luck.
With the car leaking call, I want to go back to that one real quickly. I had a Chevrolet Celebrity. Do you remember those cars?
Yeah, I sure do.
And it leaked, I am telling you, way worse than this lady who just called. It was probably a quart every 15 miles.
Oh, my gosh.
I am not exaggerating.
You're lucky the thing didn't just catch on fire and just burn slap to the ground.
So I drove it to, I think that's the car I traded in for the Sidekick I ended up getting. Did I know you when I had the Sidekick?
No.
Well, anyway, and it was so nice to have a car that didn't leak anymore. It was just so nice to not have to worry about that. That's why I'm recommending that she come to you. Is it normally easy to fix an oil leak?
Well, it depends on where the oil, but we can find it. You just clean things up, and we even have dye. We put some dye in the oil and drive it and clean everything up, and then where the oil's leaking, it'll have dye in it.
Really?
Yeah, and we have a special light, and we follow the leak. And
really?
Find out where it's coming from.
And so, if it's in an area like a blown gasket or something like that, that could be very expensive.
It could be, depending on what gasket is blown. It could be something real stupid. Like she said, could it be an oil plug? Absolutely.
And if that's it, then it's a simple fix.
That's a simple fix.
Yeah. All right, we do have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
It's Sonny again. In those days, it was check the gas and fill the oil. And, that's the way it was. I also had that where the oil drain plug was cross-threaded, and that really leaked like a sieve. Fortunately, I was able to get it retapped, and the plug went back in. But a lot of times you have to look for a different kind of bolt or oversized plug to repair that. Anyway, I put my 2 cents in on that. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sonny. Yeah, those are the two things I do too. But that $75 a month wouldn't be considered that, right?
Your whole life is going to change from here on out, Larry. $75 a month.
I figured out the other day that I spend $100 a month on gasoline, which is probably not as much as you do. I probably spend a low amount compared to most people. I only live 4 miles from work.
Yeah, and I do about the same.
But I go other places than work. So.
I do the same.
But, I mean, you think about it. You don't think of it in terms of how much are you spending per month on your car. Between insurance and the gasoline
right,
and everything.
Like when I'm selling a car, when I sit the folks down and I always ask the folks, I try to make it to where I'm not, I don't want to sell people a car. I'd rather give them a tool that they need.
Yes.
The way that, and they can afford,
right?
Not just sell them a car.
I know.
So when we sit down and talk,
you are awesome. I mean, really, you are. The person you are shows in your work, if that could say that.
And so one of my questions is, what kind of payments do you need? And so they'll tell me I can afford X amount of dollars. Now, did you consider insurance? Did you consider gas?
Right.
Did you consider, this big old Expedition may not be the car, but this one over here is, because this one right here is going to save you $200 a month in gas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's, wow, I'm smacking myself. but that's all part of it. That's what it takes to operate a vehicle.
I know. Yeah. Well, and it's funny, we think those things through when we buy a house. We think, well, how much is the rent? How much, or mortgage in that case? How much is the electricity going to be? How much is the insurance going to be? We think it all through, but when we get a car, we don't.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Way.
They just think this is just the payments.
Yeah. So where are you? Where is Crossroad Auto Sales and Sunrise Automotive?
Our address is 1800 Northwest 10th Street. That is on Highway 27, just right close to Howard Middle School on the other side of the road. And our phone number is 352-690-1993.
Go see Matt. If I could put in my 2 cents, I absolutely trust Matt and his guys. They know what they're doing. They're going to be fair with me. It's not always cheap when something goes wrong, but that's not their fault. That's the way it is. I'm guessing it's cheaper than other people. I'm guessing
there's probably cheaper people, and there's probably more expensive people.
Competitive.
Yeah.
And the oil, the products that you choose. Oh, come on. Where's this silly thing here? The products that you choose. See, this is. Do you go through the same thing with computers where they don't? I'm looking for your music. Where did it go?
Why don't you just sing it for them? Come on, pull out your guitar, your accordion. Let's.
Auto repair with personal care. Come on, it's the Matt Gibbs thing. When you're driving your car, your phone doesn't work. You have to stop and sing. Wait, come on, Matt. Where's the thing?
I don't know, Larry. We lose it once a week. We lose.
No,
this.
I lost the whole screen.
Yeah, I know. I'm gone now.
What?
Am I gone?
No, you're still here.
Oh, I see me behind you.
You were still.
Oh, there I am. Why don't we just say, have a great day?
Have a great. I can't. I don't have the thing to play. What the heck? Hold on. Let me try this.
Oh, here we go.
Should I try this? What is this?
Let's find out what it is.
Wow, that's the wrong music. Okay, hold on. Have a great day, everybody. That was Matt Gibbs on that segment. We're going to take a break and come back with another segment.
All righty, let's do it, Larry.
Go get your car fixed. Go get a new car. How come I don't see the screen that's playing? Oh, Dan. Oh, here it is up here. It became little. There it is. Now it's big. Okay. Oh, the background. Sunrise Automotive is a good place to go. Get your car fixed now with Matt and everybody else over there. Sorry, here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
WOCA, putting the local back into